SummerSlam and Dynamite, really, was mainly our main talking points. We're going to try to keep this one a lot shorter than last week. We went like 2-ish hours last week.
Yeah, there was a lot to talk about, especially building into SummerSlam.
Yeah, and obviously this one we're going to dedicate mainly to SummerSlam. So, all right, you got your audio right? Nothing's
Yeah,
muted.
yeah, everything's right. We're good to go. Yeah.
That was funny when you told me that. All right, cool. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Turnbuckle Talk with Josh and Kraken. Obviously, I am Josh, and this over here is Kraken Wrestling. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Kraken.
Hey, everybody. Hope y'all have had a fantastic weekend. Hope y'all enjoyed SummerSlam. I know I felt a certain way about it. I know Josh himself did. So, of course, you can let us know in the comments or the chat as well. I'm really, like, honestly, I felt like the SummerSlam kind of let me down. So, we'll get into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay. I have some things to talk about as well. I don't know if it's that heavy when it comes to at least the full show, but definitely one part of the show I'm going to really wasn't a fan of.
well, if you want to start with the least favorite, and we can build that way.
All right. So the show overall, I enjoyed both nights. Like when you combine them together, right? I do have complaints about things, but my least favorite thing about the show was the way it ended. Brock Lesnar returned to the WWE after 16-ish months. I don't know exactly the last time he appeared, maybe SummerSlam 2023, so it might have been 2 years.
Yeah, I think it was against Cody, yes.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think he was advertised for the Rumble the next year, but I don't remember much if he showed up prior to that, before all the stuff went down. If you didn't know, Brock Lesnar had been gone because he was allegedly a part of the whole fiasco with Vince McMahon and Janelle Grant. If you have not read the lawsuit, you can easily find that online. It's long. It's like 70 something pages. I've read through it. I read through it when it first dropped. So I think it's been amended a few times since then. The biggest part that got amended was at one point there was a name in there, or not a name, but it was alluding to a former UFC heavyweight champion was supposedly offered Janelle Grant services via Vince McMahon and not like through, anyways, the whole trafficking part. That eventually got amended to say Brock Lesnar 44 different times in the lawsuit. Obviously, he was not part of the lawsuit. He was not actually being like sued as a part of it with WWE and Vince and John Laurinaitis. But being mentioned 44 times in that is crazy, first and foremost. And there's a lot of detail in there. If you really want to go read it, just Google up the Janelle Grant lawsuit, WWE Vince McMahon. You'll find it. No problem. But overall, that was why he was gone for those 16-ish, 2 years, whatever it was, 16 months, 2 years. And I was surprised because I had been getting a lot of questions all over social media the days leading up that, Josh, do you think he'll return? Do you think he'll return? And I was pretty blunt to everyone. I was like, no, he has been named in the lawsuit, yada, yada, yada. I don't see it happening. Lo and behold, it happened. At the end of the day, obviously, people are going to separate the character from the human behind the character, which is fine. And I try to do my best for that too. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's just, again, he's alleged. Nothing's been confirmed that he did anything, crazy. Obviously, if you do also look at Brock Lesnar, there's stuff in his past that also is pretty crazy that he's alleged of doing. But, like, I don't know. To be gone that long, to be removed from WWE video game because of all this, and then just, like, here he is. And then they blamed John Cena initially, Triple H, for bringing him back, which then John Cena's like, nah. He didn't really say no, but he basically explained how it happened from his point of view, which was not what Triple H said. And then Nick Khan came out and was like, oh, yeah, a few weeks ago we reached out to him, yada, yada, yada. Or Triple H, one of the two said that one. It just doesn't... At the end of the day, it's alleged. I can't say he did these things. No one knows besides the people involved. And of course, it's going through discovery, this whole lawsuit. It just didn't feel like that now was the time to do that while this is still in discovery. At least wait until it's over or something. But at the end of the day, though, he's going to be WWE. I should have known when they were showing the Donald Trump stuff all weekend. Obviously, Triple H is like part of the sports, whatever the heck governing thing that he has going on with Trump or whatever it is. I don't remember. There's other athletes involved, but I don't know. At the end of the day, it just felt like they should have waited. But again, this is all alleged, so I can't say he did all this stuff anyway. So
Yeah. So how I felt about it was, I guess it's completely opposite because I didn't know about everything that was going
oh
on.
yeah, there's a
Um,
lot. So
I mean, I know there's a documentary on Netflix about all the stuff, and I
mhm.
didn't even watch that. So I
I
kind
think it
of
only
was
goes over
lost.
the. I think it only goes over it very barely at the end because it was like they just basically ran through Vince McMahon's career, and then it's at the very end they kind of talk about the lawsuit.
So like for me, my my shock, I was honestly shocked. I was surprised that he was back. I knew he had took time off. We had seen him posting in public with people, fans. He'd got the cooking stuff he does. And I was like, wow, he's back. But why did we have, I guess, John Cena drop the title to just have Brock come back? And of course, I know there's opposite sides to that. Like you said, Triple H was like, oh, yeah, we did it for Cena because Cena was wanting him to be part of his final run. And then Cena's like, no, we didn't. So there's a lot to, I guess, digest. I did read that WWE had him legally cleared 4 weeks prior. So I don't know how.
So that's just through their legal department. It's not like he was legally cleared from the suit or anything. And he's not being sued or
Yeah,
nothing. He's just named in the suit as
yeah.
a possible participant or recipient of services that Vince. I, I, I don't know the exact wording I should be using here, but it's all alleged at the end of the day, as at this moment. So, but yeah, it's yeah. Go continue. I forgot where I
Yeah,
was going with that. Sorry.
no, you're fine. It's just a lot to, I guess, to look at as a wrestling fan who grew up watching Brock Lesnar come in the early 2000s and be as dominant as he was, and then you hear about all this stuff. But either way, I'm a wrestling fan. So I
Yeah.
like the side of it that, hey, cool, him and Cena had a huge history inside the ring in the early 2000s, 2005, and even I think in 15 when he showed back up. So it's going to be
Yep.
interesting on that side of it. But then, of course, you got to think about the outside factors of what happens if such and such happens and he does get pulled into it. Does that drop everything
Yeah.
that's currently going? So it is kind of odd that right
Yeah.
now they did bring him back, but I'm honestly kind of curious about what they're doing Friday with it.
Oh, I am too. Like we post reactions, me and you. We post them to our social medias and other. There's like YouTube accounts who I guess you could say aggregate them. They'll share them in like compilations. I've seen yours and mine on Geekbox
All
here
right,
on YouTube.
Geekbox, yes.
Uh, and he actually commented on our last podcast saying that it was cool to see us doing this together and stuff, which was awesome. So shout out Geekbox. Go check them out on YouTube just because they compile everyone's reactions basically into one video. But yeah, so we post our reactions online, and mine was with my fiance Sarah, and she popped. I I was shocked. You could visibly see the shock in my face. I like do the whole like Home Alone stuff. I couldn't mark myself personally. I'm not saying it was going to be bad if I did. She marked. She went nutty, um, and holy cow, did people hate that I didn't mark.
Yeah,
Holy cow. And it's funny because I don't know if you've gotten this, but people have told me, "Oh, you fake your reactions for to be on Raw or whatever," you know what I mean? And it's like, no, like it's I don't. First and foremost, I don't. I've done this before WWE even acknowledged us reactors. You know, I haven't been doing this forever, just about 5 years now. But like they weren't doing it in 2020 when I first started doing that. They weren't acknowledging it really any content creators for the most part. So it's funny that people say that, and then, like, I don't pop for something that I just didn't feel like popping for, that everyone else did for the most part, and then, like, people just shat all over me, dude. Oh, I'm a every name in the book you could think of. That's all I'll say. Just every name you could think of when it comes to my looks, to just whatever, dude, whatever it may be.
yeah, I've
It's so
seen.
crazy how that upset people. I wanna say more than what possibly happened with Brock, but it's just crazy, like and then I saw people who did pop, other content creators, who also got hate,
Yep.
which was crazy, like Jake TV, I actually had a conversation with him about this in his stream, and he was like I was just like he was just BSing playing, like, I think college football or something, and, I think he was just talking about how his like, one of his reactions got featured, like, on the SmackDown or something, or, like, whatever they showed him on, like, the intro of SummerSlam, And he was like, "Dude, I'm getting so much hate for popping." I was like, "Really?" I goes, "I'm getting so much hate for not popping."
Yeah, I
I was
seen
like,
that.
"That's crazy." So no one's winning right now. Like, I don't know if you got anything like that with
Uh,
this whole thing.
um, nah, I haven't for this. Of course, it has happened like once or twice in the past, and I'm just like, if if I see something that I'm excited about, I'm gonna act absolutely wild because that's just the kid in me enjoying professional wrestling. That's how I was when
Facts.
I watched when I was young. If something is horrible, I'm not gonna have a reaction for it.
Yeah.
Am I still going to post it so you see that there are two sides to this as the reactor side and someone who enjoys watching wrestling? Absolutely. And I'm going to get called out for either over popping or not popping at all. That's just how I look
We're
at
just
it.
marks, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what's gonna happen Friday, like you were saying. I am intrigued just because it's like, what are they gonna tell the story of why he's back during Cena's run? Is it gonna just be, oh, I saw that you're retiring and I had to get me some type of thing from Brock? Or like what is gonna be the story? I am genuinely curious. So as a wrestling fan, my curiosity is there. And we'll find out Friday. So
Yeah. So
it's gonna be interesting.
the household here has got like an idea of what it is. And the idea running right now is that since John Cena could not withstand being a heel, they have sent in the Beast to slay John Cena. Talking about Rock and Travis and them.
See, and I was doing I guess I made a meme, if you will, during SummerSlam night too, because I was being asked about Brock the whole night more than anything, and I'd be like, "That I don't think that Ock will be here tonight, like for any
Yeah,
of them," because I don't know why I thought that was funny, but at the time I did, and I still think it's lame now that I think about it. But I was like, that's what I just kept saying in stream, like, what? I don't think that's the Ock we'll see tonight,
no,
if any. But no, I was legit didn't think it was gonna happen, and it's crazy that so many people, to me at least, it was crazy that so many people were finger on the pulse on it because like I didn't see any reporters even stating that like he was there or someone had seen him. So the fact that that many people were like like that whole Saturday Sunday, I was asked it, I'd say at least 20-ish times, which
yeah.
is crazy
I
to
think
me.
even
Like that's a lot
Fightful.
of people, maybe more.
Yeah, I think Fightful even mentioned that no one knew. Not even a lot of
Yeah.
the people backstage who do normally know about things. It was kind of kept
Yeah, I think he
secret,
dropped.
like Cena's
Go ahead,
tone.
sorry. Yeah, I think they dropped an article, Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select at one point saying like what like it just basically detailed like he was like he where he flew into and like he drove to the arena from so and so because he didn't fly directly into New Jersey or whatever it was. And anyways, I guess like they even had like he walked into Gorilla at X time, so it was like minutes before, you know. So it was like that's when basically everyone saw him who was in Gorilla or near Gorilla was when he walked in. So it was like just minutes before he popped out. So it
Yeah,
was very that was and I'll say that was one of their best secrets they've done in a while next to the Cena turn.
it
Like it
was.
not coming out, that's crazy.
It truly was, and I think it's took. I think it split the wrestling community. I really do.
Oh, it did. It really did. But let's jump into the rest of SummerSlam. So let's go ahead and start with night 2. I want to talk about that main event because that was John Cena's, in my opinion, best match during this retirement run. I really fucking loved that match. That match is what I wanted their Mania match to be, but I'm glad we got it, even if it was at SummerSlam, because that Mania match sucked.
Yeah,
Like I hated that match so much personally. So this match though was incredible. No run-ins. Obviously, it was a street fight, so a lot of us, and I thought there would be something during the match, but this match being a street fight was insane. Uh, one spot, and this is just like a funny like just cool like spot when they went back up to the stage when they were fighting through the crowd, and then they came up through the Cody Vader,
yes,
and he had Cody on his shoulders. I thought they were just gonna come up like just brawling or something at the same time. You would just see him in the light. But that was a fucking great shot of John like smirking with Cody on his fucking shoulders. It was like a villain coming
yeah.
up with like a dead superhero. It was so good.
It kind of made you feel like, did he turn back heel? Did something happen we didn't see? And then he had the crowd reaction with him, throwing him, giving him the AA. So it it felt all cinematic throughout that whole part.
It really did. The match in general was just insane. Obviously, a street fight's going to be chaotic, so they used weapons, tables, all the stuff that you'd expect really in a street fight in WWE, and just was really, really good. Cody Rhodes saluting Cena before he ended the match. Obviously, both men were like super mode, so they were kicking out of everything, kicking out of the super AA off the ropes and the triple Cody cutter or crossroads. I mean, the top rope Cody cutter. Like everything got kicked out. Like they kicked
Yep.
out of everything. So I kind of expected that because I was like, Cody last year at WrestleMania 40 when he kicked out of everything, like a spike spear combo, like a million spears. He kicked out of fucking everything. So I expected that for both of them. But it was just paced so well. Like I don't know the exact time of the match, but it didn't feel long. Like once we finished, I was like, that was incredible. Like that, it was probably like near 30 minutes if I had to guess,
Yeah,
but it didn't feel that long.
I honestly think it was 25. I think it was a lot shorter than what it felt, but I think like it the match movement and everything that happened and the way it was, I guess, choreographed. And I hate to say that word, but I mean we know of course we know a lot now with Unreal, but like
Yeah.
everything felt so smooth. And I know we're talking about night two, but this is what a match feels like if there's in-ring chemistry. And that
Yes.
c
That's
and the
what I'm
main event
saying.
of night one kinda shows also when there's not in-ring chemistry. But
Mm,
that's 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 honestly how I felt night two. The ending was fantastic. Like the salute,
yeah. Oh, 100%.
I was really hoping that John might have kicked out at the when he saluted because I did not want the title reign to end. But I guess I can understand that bigger things are set up for John Cena on his way out. And with him doing
Mhm.
this movie, I'm guessing it's gonna eat up a lot of his time that he has left on the show.
So he is advertised, John, right now for SmackDown tomorrow.
Yes.
Um, and I think he got announced for I think one of the or a few of the ones before Paris. I could be wrong. But going back to real quick on the time of the match, I just looked it up, 37 minutes 45 seconds. It was a
Wow.
lot longer than I thought.
It did not feel like 37. I guess because
Exactly, right?
I
Exactly.
guess because we just
That's what I felt.
anticipating I know I was anticipating, like, every time both men went down after a big move, I was like, "Alright, here comes somebody. Something's gonna happen." Like, you could feel, I guess, the way it was building, there was someone going to show up. Of course, it happened after the fact.
Yeah, which it felt like it because they took forever on Cena too, like with him in the ring after Cody left. So I was like, they're definitely doing something, but I didn't expect what we got. But like you said, there was great chemistry. They killed it. Arguably the best match of night two, I'd say. But there was a lot that went down night two. You brought up something interesting to me, and we kind of talked about it already in Discord, like after the event. But you said night one, you felt like the chemistry wasn't there for the main event. Let's go. Let's talk about Punk versus Gunther then. Let's go into that one.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I know Punk, he has he guess he's very long-winded when it comes to wrestling matches. Seen that with his past. He can go bell to bell. He may look gassed, but he's not really gassed. But I feel like the way everything just the motion of the match, it felt off to me. It was until they went to the outside. And then of course he was wounded. Gunther was in a state he had never been in. And that kind of gave Punk the open door to speed things up. And that's when you see that Punk does have that ability to go the long distance. Because I know there's people that talk about Punk not being able to. So to me, though, the whole first of the match, I was just like, what is going on? Like it's extremely drug out. Even though I think the match might have been, I think that one did go over 30, but it felt like it lasted 30 minutes within the first 15, 20.
I totally understand that. Like, it was a slower pace match. And the way I looked at it is I feel like that's Gunther's kind of style in a way. And Punk, he has such a broad range when it comes to entering. Like he can hit top rope stuff. He's a grappler, He does it all. He's a striker. He brawls. He could do really almost anything. Mimic styles in pro wrestling. I So earlier you said that the chemistry, you don't think it was there for the match?
I don't. I think it's because of not just but yeah, the chemistry. I did not feel like it felt like you could tell they were polar opposites in their fighting style, and it just didn't mesh well. That's how I felt about
See, and
it.
I didn't feel that way. I actually it was slower paced, and I just kinda attribute it. I might have to go back and watch it again, but I have to attribute that just or I feel like I attribute that just to the fact that that's Gunther's style is like and that's kinda like a WWE thing too, I feel like. They like to start off certain style of wrestlers with, like, a slower pace, a lot of chain wrestling, rest hold type of thing
Yes.
that you don't see in I mean, I wouldn't say I'd say TNA has it, but AEW definitely doesn't do that as often, amongst other probably indie companies. But I feel like it's more rare to see that when it comes to outside WWE. So I'm so used to it when I'm watching WWE because it happens on TV all the time for the TV matches, especially if you watch on Netflix. That's all they do during the commercials. Um, so I I actually really enjoyed this match, and I do agree. Like that was probably like the last 10 minutes or maybe 8 minutes when he was bleeding and
Yep.
he was all frantic and Gunther seemed like he didn't know what to do, and that was awesome. That was cool to see. Like you said, it was a part of the deep water he's never been in before or something like that. It's never happened to him in a match like that, and you could tell he was like just going for broke at that point. I really liked this match. I really thought it was good. Was it the match of the night for night one? No, definitely not. But I didn't. I don't know. I thought the chemistry was there. I just think it was the type of story they were trying to tell in the ring.
Yeah, and
Is the way I looked at it.
I mean, fast pace. I mean, the fast pace doesn't really, I guess, wouldn't have changed it either. It's just, I don't know. It felt
Maybe
so off. And maybe I could go back and watch it now and maybe feel different about it because the way Punk built it up was I was expecting him to come out swinging because Gunther is the best in the world because he has that title. So I've got to show I can beat the
that's fair.
best in the world. And I'm going to beat him. And of course, now we know Gunther has broke his, I think it's his nose, or maybe it's his
Something wrong with his nose.
something
Yeah,
rose, yeah. And so now he's going to be out. But when he comes back, is he going to use the crutch that I had Champ beat? Well, I had Punk beat. Punk's not the champ, but I had you beat if it wasn't for my nose. You only beat me
it
because
could
I was
be.
weakened. And then that's going to
That's
be,
a possibility.
Punk will have that crack. Then I got to prove that I'm still the best in the world. Got to make sure I can do it without him being at his weakest.
That's true. I mean, yeah, I could definitely see that. But I don't even know how long he's gonna be out for. I think they just said indefinitely on Raw or whatever when they announced it. Obviously kayfabe, but like he's really dealing with it, so we'll have to guess just wait and see. But the cool thing about this was after the match, we got we finally realized that Seth Rollins was lying about his knee.
Yeah, that.
The
I
cash in was awesome. I lost my shit for the cash in.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, he came out, he's got Paul with him, he's on the crutches, and he he turns around, leaving, and drops him, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is perfect." And then it reminded me of the Kevin Nash thing when he showed up in the
Oh, in
cast
the
in the
wheelchair.
wheelchair, yes. And and then, of course, you can also think of the Randy Orton when he was thinking he was injured against I think that was Bryan at one
Gosh, I don't even
point,
remember
I
that
can't
one, honestly.
but, yeah, I think it was greatly done. And then hearing his backstory about how only him, I think, like his daughter and her teacher knew about it. That was awesome as
Oh,
well too.
yeah, that was funny. And then, of course, Becky, there was, like, a video they posted, like, the WWE social media or Becky's social media of her, like, "Oh, did you get fooled by her posts?" Or something like that. She's all talking in third person about because she posted, like, videos of, like, Seth and their daughter, like, he's on crutches, they're, like, walking and all kinds of other stuff of him on crutches. I thought that was funny too to see Becky, like, hamming that up. But, yeah, the story of him, telling his daughter and, like, "You have to it's you can't tell anyone," and then the first thing he does is tell her preschool teacher.
Yeah,
That's funny as fuck.
yeah,
But, no, yeah, I love the way it was done. I loved it. I figured it was at first, it kinda got me because I was, like, so hyped up that it was gonna happen, and then he turned around, and I was like, "No, he's just teasing, like, I'm coming for you now that you have it." Then he dropped it. I was like, "Ah!" I just popped I was, like, screaming bloody murder. Like, I was so excited just because I don't know, I figured that was the route they're gonna go. A lot of people didn't seem to like it in my chat too. They did not like that Punk had, like, a 5-minute reign, which was hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that, and so I think it's more or less the fact that Punk left the company 10, 11 years ago now because he got done wrong in his eyes. Of course, we all remember the pipe bomb, and now they did this to Punk. They gave him the title. I think he had it longer than Drew. I don't know if there's an actual time
He
stamp on
didn't.
it.
He didn't. He was like
Uh,
32 seconds less. And so
so
people have been saying on like Twitter, it's like 32 or 36 seconds or something. But everyone's like saying that Drew should have a shirt that says I lasted 36 seconds longer than CM Punk.
yeah, and so people are
Or
upset
whatever
about
the term
that.
is.
But like, in my opinion, I think Punk's now at a state that he's okay with that. I don't think it's like we're gonna see the aftermath, of course.
I don't think that was his biggest gripe back in the day, but yeah, it did bother him that he was like passed over for main events back in the day. I think his biggest gripe back then was that he was dealing with some injuries that the doctor wasn't treating properly.
Yeah, that
The
too.
WWE doc. I think
But
that was his biggest concern.
I think the cash in was done perfectly. Is the vision, because I think that's what they're gonna go by. Is it going to
Yeah, they said it
be?
on Monday.
Is it going to work for long? I think it will. I think this goes for a while.
I think it has to go until after next year's Mania at the least. But I think it lasts longer than that. I'll be shocked if it's like less than a year or like just a year. I'll be
Yep.
shocked. I mean, look at the
People,
Judgment Day. They're like going on 3.5 years right now.
yeah, people complain about the bloodline. I think this vision, if it adds one more solid wrestler to it, it's gonna be probably unstoppable.
Oh, and by the way, that Gunther Punk was 30 minutes 20 seconds, so it was pretty long too. All right, let's go into what could have been a main event. Night 1 Bloodline. Main event Jey Uso, Roman Reigns versus Braun and Bronson, the Braun and Braun connection, if you will. This was a damn good match. I actually have this up there for one of the best matches of night 1. I just thought it was done really well. I do, and we talked about this last week, and I remember you thought, and we said it like when we gave our predictions, I was like, it's gonna be Rowan and Jay. It's just they're gonna go with their top guys. I just knew it, and they did. You obviously wanted Braun and Bronson to get the win. You felt like they needed it
I
or
did.
deserved it at this point. How did you feel after they lost?
The match was fantastic. I think we still put over Breaker um, in this match with everything he done to Roman and both Jay, and he was the main focus point throughout most of the match. I think he was in majority of the big spots. Um, so I did not like that they lost because I think that kind of it could have slowed down the momentum until we see Monday night, and of course that's absolutely not what happened. And I'm glad. But I like the fact that Roman sacrificed himself for Jay because that shows
Yeah,
us that Roman does now feel like Jay could possibly be the tribal chief now instead of Solo. I think that's kind of the hint there because of course that was one of
maybe.
Paul's main points was he
That's
picked
true.
Solo. Well, he just sacrificed himself for me. He took the spear. I closed out the match because of that. So I think
That's
it
true.
ended well.
I didn't think about the whole like I don't know why, but it didn't cross my mind that maybe he's gonna try to put him as the next line or just crown him head of the table or whatever, tribal chief. I don't know if they're going that route. I think he's still at the point where they're like trying to win, like because like during War Games last year, the build up to that, like Roman was still had that same like he was trying to act like the tribal chief to them, and they called him
It-
out on it. Obviously he in the match like didn't just worry about himself like he did here. He also took care of Jay here, and I think there too. I don't know if he did like a whole get. I call it the get down, Mr. President, when they like push him out of the way.
yeah,
Just get down, Mr. President. Uh, so I thought that was cool that he did that. He took the spear for Jay. Um, obviously, again, and they're setting up Braun and Roman here. I don't know when that'll happen. I feel like it'll have to be a Mania. Like I'll be shocked if they do that like sometime before then, or just at a different event. But I don't know if they're gonna get a rematch, but I feel like they should. Just I don't know if you should do 50-50 booking, but it could just go right into singles matches with Jay and Bronson, which they've already had.
I
But
have, yeah. And my opinion, I don't think Bronson could take that loss again. if we go.
I think he should if they rematch, Bronson should win over Jay, and then I think you put him next in line to face, Dom
Yes.
after he's done with AJ or whatever,
Yeah, and
or whoever
then
wins coming out of there.
and I don't know. I know Roman's scheduled for I think the 18th of August
A
or,
Raw,
or the
yeah.
25th,
Yeah,
somewhere in
like,
there. Yeah, and
I think he's scheduled for all the way up to Clash, really,
yeah,
for,
so
like, 1 week or so.
you could push Breaker and Roman at Clash, keep Roman out of the title picture at this point. And then of course I think he's supposed to go film for the Street Fighter movie in
That's
Akuma.
true, yeah.
In
Playing
that,
someone.
and I think you could have Breaker win this match to set up the future rematch at WrestleMania, but you have to have Breaker win in a dominating fashion.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think you need him to I wouldn't say squash Roman, but at least make him almost like a solo John Cena, but not as crazy, like, where he makes John look like a bitch the whole
Oh
time,
yeah,
like he did.
Solo dominated. Like it
So
was,
something like that, but not as domination, but, like, enough to where you're like, Roman hits, like, all his big spots, like, almost like a Brock Lesnar match, if you will, like, where they just kinda, like, just finisher spam for a while, but it's not enough to end Braun, you know what I mean? Or something, at least for, like, a minute
yeah,
or
easily.
something.
That's what I
But,
think
yeah, I
that's going.
think so at Clash, you think that's gonna happen?
Yeah, I can see it happening in Clash. It's got a
That'd be
big enough
interesting.
build already.
I mean, they did do John Roman the first time at, like, a random No Mercy, so I guess why not do Braun and Roman at a Clash in Paris?
Yeah, and I mean, Breaker, you got to think Roman speared Breaker through the barricade. Breaker speared Roman in half at the end of the match, and then Monday he did it again, and then he got the 6 tsunami treatment, something like that from
Yeah,
Bronson.
like 3 or 4 or
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, he got I thought they were writing him off, but the fact that he's being advertised for, like, Raw, like, in a week and a half or something, guess not, so but good match, I think it was one of the best matches of the night for sure. Of night 1, that is. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus the Judgment Day. This is so I'll say night 1, I got most of my predictions wrong, but night 2, I got most of them right. And this was one of the ones I got wrong here. Alexa and Charlotte won the tag titles in a pretty solid match. It wasn't like a standout match, but it didn't suck. So I always put that like in the 3-star range when it's like a match like that. Like it's like not super memorable, but it wasn't like where you watch it and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? It was just a solid match, told a pretty good story of what they've been doing. And it led to Charlotte and Alexa getting the win. Do you have any thoughts on this match?
um, yeah. I was surprised that they actually gave him the titles. I know they've been building it up that they were going to become friends at the end of this, or they were going to become absolute enemies. And the the punch that you see happen from Alexa to Charlotte that set it up, and I think the aspect of her acknowledging, looking at her as she's getting hit the sister Abigail DDT, it kind of it gave us the hey, they're actually gonna win it. But my biggest thing, other than them winning this, was Raquel and Roxanne. They actually surprised me in this match. It was a fantastic match from all 4 of them.
Yeah, like I mean, what surprised you from Raquel and Roxanne though?
I guess because I mean they haven't had that much time working together, and they
Mhm.
seem outside, of course, except for what we see backstage. They actually their tag team, I guess, move styles together. It was it worked really well.
Yeah, I forgot who they faced like a week or 2 prior, but I've always felt like they had some pretty decent chemistry. They just never had like a standout match.
I think this in my opinion would be that match.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I gave it a 3-star rating. I used that Dropkick app and I went and rated it. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't like super memorable besides the fact that Alexa and Charlotte won in my opinion, but it wasn't a bad match either.
And honestly, on Raquel's side, like I said last week, she's improved so much back. And I think
Oh
in
yeah.
this, being able to, not carry Roxanne because Roxanne is talented by herself, but being able to bring Roxanne in and there not be any mistakes that we see on screen, or the chemistry not acting or seeing as if it's brand new, has been great. That's the leadership of
Yeah,
Raquel.
definitely. Yeah, she's definitely took Kevin Nash's words to heart for sure, and it's showing in
Yes.
the ring. So let's get to my least two favorite matches. We'll obviously start with Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn, which immediately followed that match. What a nothing burger of a match. This match had nothing memorable to it. And I wouldn't even say like they botched around it. It was just so lackluster. Didn't have any big spots, any like I didn't feel like any point like Cross was gonna pull the win or nothing. It just felt like a their match to be there. It felt like a random, not even like a Raw main event to me. It felt like a random Raw middle of the show match that meant nothing.
Uh, yeah. But we had seen the ending to this match 2 separate times. It was either gonna
Did we?
be the pipe to the midsection of Sammy for
Oh,
him to
that's right.
win,
That's right.
or we're gonna see Karrion screaming at Sammy to say he was right. And we about got both of them. But I think the biggest aspect of it was that we actually got to see Sammy, you know, tell Scarlett, "No, I'm not doing it." You know,
I was hoping he did that,
I
honestly.
was
That was like the
honest.
one part of the match. I was like, please, like I was like invested. Like, please use it.
It would have been, I guess, a complete curveball for what we was expecting, everybody as a viewer, because we keep saying that Sammy is the ultimate face. For some reason, he will never turn heel. It's been, I think, since he had the Intercontinental on SmackDown,
Like
when he,
2021 or
yeah,
something.
when he dropped the, we can even talk about AEW segment with Corey
Oh
Graves.
yeah, yeah. I think
So
the last time I really remember him was when he was like a manager for Shinsuke or some shit. That was like the last time I remember him being like heel, really.
yeah, so I just, I know,
I guess against Johnny Knoxville. Sorry, I was just trying to remember.
no, but like it didn't do nothing for Carrion, unfortunately. Except got him on a
I feel like it
pay-per-view, a
didn't do anything for
premium live
Sammy, I
event.
think.
It didn't build up Sammy, in my opinion. Now, of course, we don't know the long-term aspect of it. The other side of this, I don't know if you've seen it today, but supposedly Carrion got a new contract.
So the thing I think that came out said they at least like offered him a
Yeah,
deal, like gave him an offer. But then he was doing an interview today, and Cross says I guess whoever was doing the interview asked him about the contract stuff, and he goes, "Don't believe what you read on the internet." And he goes, specifically today, which was literally about the whole what you just said. So he could just be him in character, trying to get us off the scent that he's resigned or is about to. But I don't even know anymore. That whole story, like, and I love Cross. I said it last week. If he leaves the company, I'm gonna try to be one of the first people to get a shirt or whatever. I just don't like. I don't know. I don't want to point it on him. I feel like the story is okay. Like he utilizes his TV time really well. When he's on TV Cross, like I sit there and I listen or whatever, and I really he captivates me. But like his matches don't always they're not memorable to me. Like nothing about it's like, man, I can't wait to see his next match. You know what I mean?
yeah, and for me, I'd rather watch a GCW match of Karrion Cross and a WWE promo backstage.
See, now I'm gonna have to go out of my way to see that because I didn't even know he's wrestling. I mean, obviously he got released in like 2022, and then came back like the next year. But I'm gonna have to look out for that because I feel like he probably wrestles completely different, like Natty does on the Indies. Then.
Yeah, I think he went by Killer Cross, so that was something like his name was added onto it. But yes.
Mm. Oh, are you talking Bloodsport?
Well, that too, but his, yeah, Bloodsport and then his indie wrestling too.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say I know he's done Bloodsport while he's with WWE, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did it during WrestleMania this year. But
Yes, but even
yeah,
that
I don't know, man.
version
Just
was completely
maybe it's
different.
just the style they want him to work, and it just doesn't fit him. It could be one of those Sin Cara scenarios where like they want him to be wrestle a certain like way and not do exactly what made him good. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, and then like we know Sin Cara now is doing fantastic.
Oh yeah, he looks great as Mystico. Like he doesn't seem to have any issues in the ring, and he's
Uh,
older now too.
yeah, and for me, so talking about this one, unfortunately, as much as a Carrion fan I am, I wasn't there for this match, I guess.
Same.
Um, so but a run time of 8 minutes and 11 seconds.
It felt shorter.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, bummer. I feel like that was the worst match of the weekend for WWE.
unfortunately, it could have been extremely done well, but
So a match that I feel like people didn't have chemistry in was Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton, which was the following match for the women's title. It was also a short match, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that one, yes, it's even a little bit shorter, 7 minutes and 5 seconds for the women's WWE title. The chemistry just wasn't there. I don't even remember if there was like any spots where they just like seemed like timing or it was just there. Like the only reason I thought it was okay is because they surprised me with Tiffany retaining.
so I was surprised Tiffany retained, even though I picked her to win. I thought they were really going to give it to Jade. But if you go back and watch that match, even though I think it was like 7 minutes, maybe seven flat, Jade had a lot of big spots that she hit. She came straight out with a big boot or the pump kick. I think there was even a spot where she done like a big power slam on the floor. But of course, then Tiffany counters that with her swantons and all that. So I think they executed it well with the big over the top moves.
Yeah, the only one I remember was when she did the like moonsault or whatever, and she kicked her in the face, and she like literally kicked her because her feet never touched the ground. That was wild.
Yes, that was insane.
That was insane.
Um, but then what really got me was, and I think we've seen it twice now, and I guess it's just how they have it set up or however. But the pin after she hit Jaded, that just it bothered me. I guess but then again, that gives you the kick out on the rope as well because she,
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so it looked like she placed her foot on the rope for her. Jade put it. It
yeah.
wasn't like it looked like Tiffany reached. It was like she leaned it, and she never really does that with the foot. Like she does that pin style, but she like took the leg with her,
Mhm.
and it was like, oh, well, she's gonna hit the rope then. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, of course, it could have been exhaustion, tiredness, whatever. You know, these big back-to-back moves, you're constantly moving. 7 minutes is fast. I mean,
oh, it is.
doing constant flips, kicking out, running the ropes. 7 minutes is 7 minutes. It's quick. You got to get everything in faster. You ain't got the time to have the long, I guess, windedness to do a 30-minute match. You're gonna be winded by the time 7 minutes hit. So I guess it could have been exhaustion that made it happen, but I just feel like with the big moves that we've seen, it kind of filled in the spots, I guess, for the chemistry, in my opinion. But then yet again, I didn't like the fact that they actually did have Tiffany win because what's the point in the Queen of the Ring? But yet again, Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring don't guarantee a win. Kind of like WrestleMania, it
Yeah.
doesn't guarantee a win either. So
Yeah, you gotta give that idea to the fans that they're just because they won that tournament or like even Rumble, there doesn't guarantee that they're gonna pull it off on the stage that they get given, SummerSlam, Mania, whatever it is. And that's just a little side thing. I'm waiting for that to happen to the women's Money in the Bank because it's never been unsuccessfully cashed in. So that's when it's always been successful. So I would just, yeah, you gotta let your audience know, like, it's not always gonna happen this way. And I felt like that was fine. I'm fine with her losing. The match was not it. And I hate that they got 7 minutes. Like you said though, they did do a lot of big spots in that 7 minutes, and overall just a forgettable match, in my opinion.
I can understand that. Because of course, I think a lot of people felt that way.
So the match after that, this one I feel went too long, but it was good. It exceeded my expectations. Last week I said, and I've said this all the time all across all my social medias, I'm not a big fan of celebrities in wrestling unless they're like really good. Um and Jelly did basically what I expected. He was going to be the powerhouse. He took a beating though. Like
Oh my
he was
god.
in there for a long time. This was 17 minutes. This match. I think that was like 5 minutes too long. 12 minutes would have been good. I feel like. I think you could have told the same story with Jelly getting beaten for like the first 5 minutes, and then have Randy come in with that hot tag. The craziest spot was obviously Logan Paul hitting a frog splash from the corner to Jelly Roll on the commentary desk, which is obviously a far jump. But the fact that it's Jelly taking that and not like Randy, that was insane. And
Yeah.
plus, Logan had I forget what they're called, those glasses, that the Ray-Bans that have like the camera in them.
Yep.
And so that was a fucking amazing shot of him doing that through that. I think they posted it to social media afterwards. It wasn't like on the feed, but yeah, props to Jelly. The man took a serious fucking beating in that match, like more than I expected.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the things that I was most impressed with overall was Jelly Roll got in there, and you could tell he had some training. And he took the big bumps. He was not scared. And of course, we've seen other celebrities take small bumps in the past,
Oh yeah,
except for Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny came in there and was like, I'll take any bump. Let's do it. And I
yeah.
was not expecting that out of Jelly Roll, and he surprised the hell out of me.
He
Uh,
sold the table spot so well when they carried him, like they were carrying him to the back. I kind of figured, I was like, oh, they're gonna do the whole thing where he comes and turns around and shocks everyone that he's gonna continue the match. But he sold it well. Like I was actually sitting there like, oh, he actually might be hurt. Fuck.
yeah,
Well, shit. I hope he's okay. Like fuck. And then they do the whole spot, and I was like, fuck, they got me.
yeah,
But like he was really good. Like, and the match wasn't like it was too long. I'll still say it was too long. It didn't need to be 17 minutes. But it was entertaining. I was sports entertained. They got me on that one. And thought that was the match I was least looking forward to was that one. And it exceeded my expectations by fucking tenfold. It was so good.
yeah. And then getting the frog splash again, isn't that what got Jelly Roll? Logan hit the frog splash.
And yeah, so he got him back in the ring. So once Jelly got tagged back in, because he did the spot, he came up on the apron, and Randy tagged him in, another hot tag, and he came in and ate the pin. Came in and he hit some things. Obviously, he came in on the hot tag and hit some spots and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. But then, of course, Logan got in and took advantage and hit that frog splash. And that frog splash was pretty sick. He does the whole like split legged like frog splash. It's fucking insane. But yeah, no. So he ate a second frog splash in the ring, and that got Logan and Drew the win.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, hats off to the Jelly Roll. I'm really excited now, and I know it sounds crazy, but I want to see where he improves at.
Same.
Like,
And they said that the dirt sheets were saying like they're like already in talks to like bring him back sooner rather than later.
yeah, most definitely. I would like to see Jelly Roll in there, and not up against someone like Logan. I mean, he could go against Logan again, but put him in there against a heavyweight. I want to see him do a heavyweight style match.
Let
Him
him get
and
chopped by Gunther.
oh sweet God, he would take it too.
He
But
would, dude. He'll take like 10 of them probably.
yeah, but I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes now with Jelly Roll because I feel like he's gonna be there more.
Yeah, definitely. So that's everything from night one. How would you have rated night one overall? Just night one itself.
Out of 5,
Sure. Yeah. Or whatever, 10, whatever you like.
yeah, I mean either way, I give it a 3.5. There were some spots
Yeah.
that I think could have done better that would have bumped it, but either way, 3.5 on a 12 card is not bad for night one. I think if there would have been different title changes, I think I could have gave it a little higher just off of a viewer aspect. The matches were great. They were all aspects except for the Sammy match, but three and a
So we did
half.
get 2 title changes out of 3, technically 4 title matches because we had the world title defended twice technically. I guess that's
Technically,
3
yeah.
title changes actually. So there was quite a bit. There was only 1 title that didn't change hands, and that was the women's title. Every other title changed hands on night one. But overall, I agree. 3.5. I feel like the middle definitely was the slower part of the show, except I'll say basically the first 2 matches and the last 2 matches out of the 6. So just the 2 middle matches were the 2 I didn't care for. Obviously, I already said that, but yeah, definitely 3.5 is good. That's what I would give it to. So night 2, we opened with the women's world title, arguably candidate for match of the weekend. I feel Naomi, Rhea, and Io. It was, I would say, close to the one with Bianca from Mania.
I think it outdoes that one.
Wow. A lot of people say that that triple threat from this year's Mania is one of the best women's matches in Mania history. So that's crazy.
It is in Mania history, I will say that, but I think this match, the storytelling with Io and Rhea still has yet to beat Io. That still lives. Naomi still is our champion, and she technically people say she will say she stole it because she won the pin off of someone else's finisher. However you want to look at that, but I
And
feel
I called that. Did I not call that?
yeah. But this match, I mean, it was it was a hell of a match. This is up
Oh, it
there,
was
in my
great.
opinion, for one of the female wrestler matches of the year.
Yeah, this was really good. The pacing was really good. Let's see, how long was this one? This one was 16 minutes. So in a 16-minute match, it felt like a 30-minute match. Like just so much went down during this match. They hit so many fucking big moves. Fucking Rhea hit a Tenru bomb or power bomb on Io, which was nutty. Um, but yeah, this whole match was great. I loved that. I forgot how many times Rhea hit the Riptide because in my I did a simulation on
God,
2K and she hit Naomi in my 2K simulation with the Riptide like 4 times, which is hilarious. For some reason, she just kept going after Naomi. But I think she kind of almost did that in real life. She just kept hitting the Riptide on them. I feel like just kept, or at least going for it. It was either she was kept going for it. Gosh, I can't believe I don't even remember now because I talked about it on Sunday. I was like, I really liked how I think it was either they kept teasing it and she finally got it, or she just kept going for it. And then I think she got it a few times, and then she hit the. Didn't she hit one from the top rope or like the middle rope or
she
something?
I think she did hit Io with that one. Then she went for the pin, or maybe it got reversed again, kind of like it did on Monday
Oh,
Night
that was
Raw.
the ending. So she hit the
Yeah,
Avalanche Riptide on Io, but Naomi broke it up and then rolled up Rhea, which I actually didn't expect her to do that. I thought she would just toss Rhea to the outside and then pin Io, but she just grabbed Rhea from the pinfall and rolled her up, which was really slick too, how like she just did it so quickly. Um it's kind of basically what I thought, but I thought she would just toss Rhea out. But yeah, no, this match was really good. It was super good. It was a great way to kick off night 2. The crowd fucking ate it up too. This crowd was like on fire for night 2, like just every match, but like this match really set the tone for the rest of the night.
yeah. So I was looking over my notes from it, and some of the moves that I just did not expect to see. 619 from Io Sky.
Doesn't she hit that every now and again, or is that or is
I
that
haven't seen her do it.
Kyrie?
No, Stephanie Vaquer hits a version of it.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe I'm thinking of Stephanie.
So I mean, everyone was everyone was pulling out every move to win this match, and that was something else, in my opinion, that was great to see. That they have all these moves that we don't see every day, that they never hardly use, and now we're seeing it here, and it's in the opening of SummerSlam.
Yeah, so with Naomi getting the win here, they did set up Io and Naomi for this coming Monday for the world title. So that's going to be interesting because they had the whole backstage segment with Rhea. And she said, "You still never beat me," is what Io told her. Does Io or does Rhea get involved on Monday, next Monday?
I think so, because I think we're finally building them too. Because they've been what seems like friends in every match, even if they're against each other, which is great. But I think now we got to get to the point to where Rhea has to beat Io. She has to overcome that.
When do you think they do that one? Mania?
I think you could build it that long, but will it be for a title at that point, or could that just be a middle match that's gonna steal the show?
I can see them putting it on Rumble. But
Easily
then
on,
again, you probably want both of those women in Rumble, though, the match itself.
yeah. I really think Rhea will be in a title picture at Mania. I think a lot of people want to see her and Stephanie.
I don't think Stephanie beats Naomi. If Io doesn't beat Naomi, that is.
No, and then we also got the draft coming up too, so we got to think about that. I think it's slated for
And they
September.
announced it?
It did get announced that it was going to be after SummerSlam, but there's no exact date.
Wait, by WWE, though?
Yes, hold on. Let me. Oh,
I missed that. Um, but yeah, if the draft comes, I mean, it doesn't even matter. We have so many people switching. Like LA Knight's feuding with Seth on Raw. He's a SmackDown guy. Like, like, doesn't even matter to do the draft anyways. I mean, it makes sense because you have so many people and you want to, that's the best way to get adequate TV time for everyone, at least for the most part. But I just don't. I don't know. I just don't think the draft really matters nowadays.
It
But I think they should keep it up. It just doesn't feel like it matters.
yeah, it in my opinion, it don't. Um, but of course, it looks like that's what we're seeing again. It, as if there's so many people gonna be called up to the main roster, we gotta figure out where they're gonna be.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump into the next match, which is the TLC, Six Packs TLC. We have the Wyatts, Andrade Ray Phoenix, Fraxia, Motor City, Machine Guns, Street Profits, this and DIY. I don't know if I already said them, but this match was fucking this. It was the 25th anniversary, first and foremost, for the first ever TLC match, which was Hardy's, Edge and Christian, and Dudley's. They did have the Hardys and Dudley's ringside for this, which was dope as fuck. They got loud pops, both teams. This match was incredible. Anything that you could think of when it comes to ladders and tables and chair spots, they did them.
Yes, absolutely. Um,
And they even paid tribute to like the run-ins with Candace and the Wyatt's, the whole Wyatt Six getting involved and stuff like that. It kind of reminded me of at least the second TLCs where that happened. But I felt like it just incorporated everything like from the old TLCs and made it modern. And I loved, first and foremost, Candice LeRae's bump. That was fucking incredible. And she's always down for shit like that. Her indie run, she would always take. She fucking had like a handicap match against the Bucks that you guys need to go watch. If you're watching this right now, after this on YouTube, look up Candice LeRae versus the Young Bucks. It's like a handicap match, I believe. It's fucking insane. She's insane. She had the viral clip with Cedric Alexander getting I forget the name of his move, but a lumbar check. It's like
yep.
she gets like insane bounce on it. Like she's just a trooper for the shit she takes. And this was one of them. She fell off of like the tallest ladder they had, through another fucking ladder, which was
Dude,
stretched out from the ring to the fucking table. It was insane.
I don't know if I know of course you mentioned the Geek Box, and I think everyone's reactions were on there for that ladder spot. Um, uh, I was sitting there watching it with my brother at the time, and he thought because of the way she landed that her legs went through the ladder. Thought that she had just broken her legs, and I had to watch it back twice, but because it happened so fast, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" Like, hats off to Candace. I didn't realize she was willing to take these kind of bumps.
Yeah, she's a mad woman. And I loved how they set it up too. It wasn't like someone like took care of DIY and then tipped her over. It was, I think it was Montez like hit Champa or Johnny or something. I think it was Champa, and then Champa bumped into Johnny, who was like protecting the ladder, which
Yes.
then knocked her off. But that was fucking awesome. That was just so good. And then they also had DIY. After that, DIY climbs the ladder, and then they get knocked through the four tables. They're stacked side by side outside, which was reminded me of when I think it was Matt Hardy and Bubba Ray Dudley went through
Yep.
it on like the second TLC. So that's why I'm like, I loved those original TLC matches. So I love that they paid homage to a lot of the spots from it. It was
Yeah.
just fucking incredible. And then I didn't expect the Wyatts to retain.
I was surprised. To be honest, I picked them to retain, but I was surprised. And another thing that surprised me was, of course, watching Faxium in NXT. I know what they're capable of. I know what they can do inside the ring. But in this match, they really showed out, in my opinion.
Oh, everyone did. Everyone looked great. Andrade, Ray, Phoenix looked great. MC, everyone. I didn't think everyone looked like they had some great shit throughout this whole match. It
That
was so good.
the Spanish Fly, it kind of, I like when he set it up. I was kind of nervous that that was not going to end well, just because the Spanish Fly is what I say. It looks like it's hard to do, but of course they do it every day. But to go from turnbuckle to mat, that's tricky. But then you got to go turnbuckle to floor and hit the table, not hit the barricade. God,
Yeah, it's their hats off to everyone in this match, including like Candace and everyone who got involved with the Wyatts. Like they played every part really well. The only part I could point out too that I thought was funny was like in a weird way was like when they had everyone go like what you were saying, the table spot. Like he did the thing that was the last one, the Spanish fly through the table. Everyone did a table spot. Like it was like either a frog splash or like an elbow drop or whatever. Every corner there was like one guy. That felt too choreographed to me. I didn't
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that I can understand. 'Cause I mean, it did feel like they knew, of course, and it wasn't all the surprise, but yet again, the big moments sold it. What
Oh, it was
didn't
still great
Yeah.
regardless. Yeah.
What didn't I didn't like was, of course, like you said, paid homage to everything we've seen TLC wise from the beginning till now. But even the other companies, they don't use tables that's got pre-drilled holes in it. Yeah,
That was funny.
I
Like,
didn't.
that was super it's smart, though, I get it, but it breaks immersion, but I totally get why it's there. But, yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen the whole and what made it funnier is when they stacked them, I forgot who stacked them, might have been the Street Profits, they didn't put them in the hole.
Yeah, yeah,
They
it's
avoided them completely, and so, I don't know if that was the plan because maybe they didn't like it or they worked it out, it was like, "Oh, let's just not put them there," or something, but that was hysterical because I was like, they had like, I don't think even think I said it, but in my head, I was like, "They have the holes, but they're not using them."
yeah. And then
They just put 'em
Howdy,
an inch to the left.
yes, I was like, my mind, I think I might have said it. I was like, the Hardys definitely didn't have to use the holes to hold the tables in place. They were just hoping and praying that it did not fall when they went
Yeah.
to hit other spots. But then the other thing I like to see is they included Uncle Howdy in this. He got the mandible claw on what?
Yeah, on the ladder. I
Yeah,
think he got 2 mandible claws up on the ladder, which was crazy.
and then he took that senton power bomb. I can't
Dude,
remember
it was
exactly what it's
insane.
called, but yeah, the whole match was great.
Yeah, and that was the 2nd match. Our first 2 matches were just insane to start off. Every match but one, by the way, was a non-DQ match. So, like, there was only 1 match, which is the next one. Actually, no, this next one was, I'm sorry, but there was only 1 match. That was actually my only other complaint about the full night. I wish they would have mixed up night 2 better with night 1 because every match was no DQ except for AJ and Dom on night 2.
Was it really? Yeah,
Yes. So you
that's
had the opening match
triple threat.
was a triple threat, no DQ rules in that. Then you had the TLC, and then what's next after that was Becky and Lyra, which was also a no DQ match. And then you had AJ Dom, which was I'm sorry, you had the steel cage, some Jacob and Solo, no DQ. Then AJ Dom was the only one who was a normal match, and then the main event was a street fight
Yeah,
of night 2.
right then.
That was my only complaint. I wish they would have mixed them a little bit better. But it paid off for night 2. Night 2 was incredible.
It did. Yeah, night two was fantastic. But yeah,
So Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria was next for the women's IC title in a no DQ match. This was a really fun match. I just thought it got too much time.
it did get a lot of time.
25 minutes on the dot.
I think there was a lot of building up in this. The storytelling, of course, I felt like it was there for this match, building up. It delivered as well. But then at the end of the match, I think when she was going to when she set her up to hit her with the crowbar is where I think that time got added.
Maybe, yeah. It just felt really long. Like at one point, I just basically was like, okay, where's Bailey now? Nope, now. Nope, now. Like, and it was like when I felt like it was gonna happen, it was just the match kept going, it was still a good match. I wish it was like 5 minutes shorter, 6 minutes shorter.
And I like the fact that Bailey showed up. I think we talked about it last week on our predictions. Was that Bailey was going to actually turn and attack Lyra? That's what I was expecting to happen,
Same. Totally same.
but she didn't. And then she still hits Lyra on accident, and she loses.
Yeah, so they teased us with it at first with didn't she like go to hit and Becky moved and then she didn't like she stopped what she was doing? I might be mistaken on that,
Yeah,
but
so she handed her the crowbar and was like, telling her we was the first four. We were the four,
yeah.
which 4 horsewomen. And so then she went like she was gonna swing, and then stopped herself and started swinging on Becky, which led to
Yeah,
the
so
boot over the top of the barricade, which ended in that leg drop, which was perfect to the
Dude,
table.
that leg drop was so they if you didn't see it and you don't know why he like said that leg drop, it was an insane fucking leg drop. It almost looked like Becky wasn't even ready for it. Like that's how insane it was. So and the camera angle made it that much better because they didn't like show her at the top prior to her
No,
jumping.
at all.
So all we saw is like this one camera angle for like maybe 5 seconds that's following Becky. And as soon as she's at the table, boom, there's Lyra. And it looked like a car crash. It was fucking insane. Like, I think me and Sarah like jumped. We're like, oh, what the fuck just happened? Like, it was the camera was perfect for it, not showing Lyra. I love when they do that. They do that quite a bit in wrestling, but like that was one of the best ones I've ever seen when they did it.
Yeah, and like I forgot about that table. Like Lyra set it up in like the first 5 minutes of the match, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get a table spot, awesome!" And then we get hands zip tied and wrestling outside and
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
crowbar
zip ties.
and the leg drop, and then out of nowhere, I was like, "Holy shit, this is great!" Because she's
The zip tie
barely
was funny too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
she barely sets up. Like you could tell she was getting up out of off the floor to get back in the ring, and I swear she was barely on the damn table. But with
So the zip ties were hysterical because like I could tell from the get-go they weren't tight enough. And she was because like she would hit a move and you could tell they were like right here. And I was like, oh no, they're falling off. And so I'm just watching. I'm not even paying attention to like what move she's hitting. I'm just like, oh, are they about to fall off? Like I just eyeballing them. And eventually you notice her hand because even commentators like, she's free. Oh no, she's not. She's not because she slips her hand back into it. That was so funny just because I saw it coming for like 2 minutes that was gonna happen. Or like a minute, however long it was. But like I was like, I could tell. I was like, oh, those are gonna fall off. Unless
yeah,
she just that's the plan. But no, I could tell it they weren't supposed to because she kept trying to slide him back on, but she couldn't get it properly without making it look too obvious.
so the spot where they came off, and I think she fixed it. If you go back and watch, she wraps her arms around Becky, sets her up for that belly to belly slam. And when she does, it looks like I was like, "Holy shit, she's free!" And then it pans to the crowd or something, or it zooms in on Becky, and next thing you know, she's not. I'm like, "The hell did I just?" I swear, her hands were free, and then she
And it's funny
was,
because commentary called it out too. That oh, she's
yeah,
free. Oh no, she's not.
yeah. Like, what is happening? But it was a
But a
great
good
match.
match overall. Yeah, good match. With Bailey accidentally hitting Lyra instead of actually fully turning. They're just slowly building this up. I'm assuming for Bailey still.
Yes, I think.
Because Lyra the next night on Raw was like backstage was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm done with you, and just walked away.
Yeah, and doesn't this? Wouldn't that make Bailey? No, she wouldn't be. Would she technically be a Grand Slam before this? If she Or does she have to win the Intercontinentals? Or have they even introduced that aspect to the
Well, no,
women's?
yeah, that would be like she's like the old version of Grand Slam because she had both women's titles and the tag titles, so she was Grand Slam. I would say still is, but like now there's a. It's kind of like what Miz said, like when they like, oh, I'm a double Grand Slam champ, because he got it like before they started adding other titles, and then he got it again.
So
But
she has to win both IC and US.
to
I
be
mean,
modern day Grand Slam, yeah. But I would say she still has her original one because those didn't
yeah,
exist then.
absolutely.
But yeah, great match. Every match, even before we get into the next few here, because we only have two more to talk about, because we already talked about the main event. Every match was fine. I feel like if any match was the kind of like lower part of the show, was probably this next one, the steel cage. It didn't really get a whole lot of time. I wouldn't be surprised if Becky and Lyra just went longer than they needed it to, and that's why. Because the cage match still went 12 minutes, but it felt rushed to me.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel like they was just missing something. Like Jacob still won the match. Not Jacob, Solo, sorry, but it felt like
So yeah.
Jacob did because he still destroyed was it Loa and JC?
Mhm.
Teo? He absolutely destroyed them.
Yeah, he beat their ass.
Yeah, after Jimmy locked the cage back. So I mean, I don't feel like the wrong person won because I think it would have been bad to drop the title so quick. But I feel like it was just missing something in like the whole aspect of the match.
I totally expected Tama Tonga to return during this match and align with Jacob, but as the match was happening, I actually was like, I feel like this would be more shocking if they're gonna go for shock value to have Thomas side back with Solo. But then he didn't even return, so obviously he's probably not cleared, is my guess. Um, but yeah, I agree. Like the match wasn't bad. It did its part. I feel even though I had Jacob winning and Solo ended up retaining with the help and all that, and having Jacob beat down everyone. Yeah, just compared to the rest of the show, it just didn't feel. I guess the other three matches were just crazy good, so this one just kind of, even with it being a cage, just didn't feel as crazy, I guess. But it was still a good match. It wasn't like terrible or nothing.
Uh, the moonsault off the top of the steel cage. I don't know if you've seen it, or aspects of it, but Loa took a full shin directly to the
To the
head.
head, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I. Yeah,
and
he's he's insane.
and got up. I've seen them in there talking to him, while it was panning out, and I was just like, man, I know that hurt.
Oh hell yeah! I'm surprised they didn't bust him open. Honestly, like you'd think just taking a full shin to the fucking face would just cut you if you already fucking had like a little cut or I don't know. But yeah, no. I don't, overall, not a bad match, but just something that like didn't really fully captivate me in the end. Like just something that I was like, oh okay, that was cool. Next, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I feel like it had a bigger, but not a bigger potential because I felt like the match was still good. I just feel like there was something they could have added to it. But either way, I think the right outcome happened. I think we're still going to be building Jacob's team versus Solo. I don't think we're going to have anyone else that's currently there, as in like Jay or Roman get involved. I think it's truly going to be a Jacob and Solo story.
My fear is if this goes all the way to War Games, is it's gonna get boring before then. Because you have from now and then over 3 months, just under 4 months, because it's always the end of November. So if that's where this is going, fuck, we have a long build ahead.
We do.
Because
Um,
I would, if it ends up being that's what happens. I hope it's not like the Judgment Day where just like there was that one summer where they always just like got involved in everyone's shit on Raw. Oh my god, that summer felt so long because Raw ended the same way every fucking week, and I'm hoping that we don't get that with SmackDown and this shit.
I'm also hoping that that doesn't happen with the Vision. It has been, but I think the Vision is still fresh enough for that issue.
Yeah. But overall, okay match. I don't even know what I rated it. I think I gave it like a 3, which is not bad, but compared to the rest, it was fell by the wayside. AJ and Dom. This was a fun match. They made it more. I don't know. It wasn't like with you would think Dom and AJ. It might be like a technical or like a good, like really good wrestling match, and it wasn't bad or nothing. It just like was. I would say it was better than the steel cage, personally, but like I don't know. My biggest takeaway were like the way I felt after the match was like I feel like AJ tried to get in Dom's head too much more than prep for the match. Like that was like obviously Dom. Uh, they both tried to do the Eddie thing too, which was awesome,
Yes.
but obviously he won with a loaded boot. And I don't even know if I'd call it a loaded boot because honestly, and as the former heel Josh, I feel like Dom did nothing wrong to win this match. The boot's totally legal when it's on your foot, and
Mhm.
then he used it on his hand. What's the problem?
I mean, I don't, honestly, I didn't see a problem with it. I like the way it ended.
But I
Um,
mean, how is that cheating though? You know what I mean?
I mean, you do anything you have to win. And that was the whole match was, in my opinion, paying homage and respect to Eddie and Ray's match in a
Oh yeah, the
sense.
gear. They had the gear, the blue gear for Dom, which was like his dad's from the 2005 SummerSlam, and then you had AJ coming out in the lowrider, which was funny because that leaked prior that day two, like our night two, but prior to night two. Like I forgot, I think it was Fightful, like on their like rundown, like put like there's a rehearsing like a lowrider entrance or something, and so my mind immediately went to Dom. But then it was AJ, which so that made me like the fact that I like kind of got spoiled, but then I popped even harder when I realized I was completely wrong for Dom. Because then Dom came out and he just had the mask, and I was like, and then Sarah goes, "It's for AJ," because she loves AJ. She's like the
Yeah.
biggest mark for AJ. And sure enough, he had the lowrider entrance, which was fucking great.
And then I watched a little bit of the post show for night 2, and Dom even commented that he had AJ had a little version of him of Dom in the car with him.
Oh, no, did he?
Yeah, because he said it looked like him when he was 2005 was that match with the contract
Mm,
signing. So
yeah.
I don't know if that was planned, but either way, everything that they did for the match, I think was great. Even the chair spot, where Dom fake like he got hit, AJ put it around his neck, lay on the ground, used the
That was so good.
ref. That was great. But yeah, the loaded boot, I think it was a fair win for Dom. Especially he's still a heel who is over as a face with the crowd.
So in my notes, I have it saying loaded boot, but I don't remember him putting anything in the boot because wouldn't that insinuate he used something in it to make it more? Because the way I remember seeing it was just that it fell off, obviously, in the calf crusher or whatever it's called. Fell off, and that was also homage to. I want to say that was homage to Eddie Angle. I remember that happening at WrestleMania
Yeah,
when he had him in the ankle lock and the boot came off, and then he hit
he
him
used
with
it. Yep,
whatever. Um, I didn't see him put anything in the boot. That's why I'm saying I don't feel he cheated because he used the boot like with his hands. It was on his foot and he was kicking him with it, and it wasn't illegal then.
it
Why can't he
wasn't.
put it on his hand and use it?
I think. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't think he put anything in it, but yet again, there was a good solid boot print on the side of AJ's head, so he put some force into that hit.
Gotta be prepared, AJ.
That's true. Yeah,
That's what I gotta be prepared, man. No, but it was a really fun match. I loved all the callbacks. The Eddie spot was great, like you said with the chairs. Yeah, fun match. I gave this one a 3.5 out of everything, like out of 5. But
yeah,
yeah, and it's not even like it wasn't even like a bad match. Like if I had to say like any of the, and I even said this on stream, I was like that and the steel cage were like the lower parts of SummerSlam Night 2, but they didn't feel like throwaways. They had story to them that felt right, at least to me. Everything felt good. But like, and it's not knocking those matches either. It's just me like those are the matches that like where I felt like we were taking a breather before the main event.
yeah. It was most definitely the excitement was building for the main event because everyone was like, what is Cena really doing? Is he going to fool us all and be the heel, or is he gonna be the face? So I truly agree that that's what these two matches were. They were good matches. I think they just didn't get the acknowledgement they deserved off of the simple fact that people were more excited for the main event.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously that was it was exciting before what happened on SmackDown, but with Cena doing that full-on babyface promo on SmackDown on Friday, um, it was the perfect babyface promo, and I didn't buy it. I actually thought he was fooling us, trying to trick us, and then they did the whole entrance for him, which we already talked about, but I don't think I talked about. They did the entrance where it was just his white text, and then it went into the actual full babyface Cena, which was I popped. I'm not even the biggest Cena fan, and I popped for the entrance. Like I like lost my shit. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna talk to Stu. Like it was really done well on SmackDown. So I honestly said even going into night 2, I was still like, I think he's gonna come out and be a heel, and he wasn't. It was true, which makes that promo even funnier because they totally shat on Travis Scott on
Yep.
SmackDown.
Scott
Um,
and The Rock.
yeah, I'd say more so Travis. I think Rocky just said this. The only thing he really said was like the one I think the Travis Scott line because when he said like the only platinum rapper that's gonna be beating you up Sunday is me or something like that
Yep.
is what he said on SmackDown. And then he had like the line about like the two guys who wanted me to do this or something like that. Or he like acknowledged like he basically didn't want to do it or something like that, or it wasn't him. Um, yeah, that was all great. Like that whole main event just perfect. That was
And
like if any match deserves a 5 out of 5 from everyone, it's that. I didn't even I think I put it at 4.75. It's hard for me to always give something 5. I always feel like that means like perfect. So like for me, it's so hard to give out of 5. I'm like
and
the opposite of Dave. I just keep them away.
they are reserved for special matches.
And
Um,
honestly, I would probably amend that and say that was 5 stars. That was so fucking good.
well, see, and what I think adds to that, you talked about the John Cena entrance. I was okay with the John Cena entrance because I knew that he was going to do the true face. When they played the Dusty entrance prior
Yes.
to Cody coming out, I was like, "Yep, he's winning." and it's going to be a fantastic match. But this right here, like I got the chills, and the whole Rock thing where you can feel it and the emotion in it, and I think that was a eh, bigger moment here in Dusty because what I understand, it wasn't AI. It was two different promos that he put
So I
together.
believe one of them was the Hard Times promo, but it wasn't the more popular part of it. It was a different part of the Hard Times. And I don't know what the other promo was, but yeah, I don't know why people thought that was AI. Honestly, it was obviously real Dusty promos that they chopped up.
Yeah, I think that. And then, of course, if I can ever find one of those helmets that he wears, because I know it's one of the Iron Man helmets, but those look
Mhm.
fantastic. This one was cracked. I don't know if you noticed that it was cracked. I don't think the last one was.
Yeah, the
So,
one he wore at Mania is like it was like the Iron Man, like it opened automatically.
yep.
The one he wore on Sunday didn't like it. You could tell it was like a solid, like it had the lines, like the crack lines, like you said, but you could tell it wasn't the same mask.
Yeah,
But
but
I mean, it was, but it wasn't the exact same.
yeah. But I don't know if that's more foreshadowing for something that might come or not. But either way, I think there's great detail what they do with those masks and all that.
But for me, SummerSlam was a hit. I really enjoyed SummerSlam. I thought it was really almost night two at least, and nearly perfect. Like night two was fucking incredible.
Yeah, I can give Night to a 4 for sure overall.
I gave night two 4.5 out of 5. Like it was that good for me. Like everything felt placed. The pacing of the show was good and stuff. Everything was great.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree on that. It's just I think the only thing that kind of didn't give it that 4.5 for me would have been the ending for that steel cage match.
Really?
Not who won, but like all the all the interference. Of course, we knew it was going to happen, but it just felt like it was overrushed there at the end.
Yeah, I could see that. If I really think that Becky and Lyra just went too long. And I feel like that's what ate into that steel cage match. I could be wrong. I just felt like that cage match should have had more time. It just didn't feel like it got a lot of
It
time.
did.
Like 12 minutes is not short, but it just didn't. It felt like they rushed it. Everything felt rushed.
Yeah, and then of course, I I feel it feels weird watching a WWE Premium Live event even now, still at 6 o'clock, starting at 6 in the on a Saturday or a Sunday. Grew up when it was 8 o'clock, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I just feel like they're rushing to make sure they're done by a certain time. Both not.
Yeah, because I, and they were in the in New Jersey area, so I think they were like didn't want to go too late for the East Coast in general. Like obviously it ended like 8ish or whatever for you guys. For me it ended like actually I don't remember because it was 6 matches. Started at 4 for me. Was it less than 4 hours both nights? I think it was, right?
I think it ended right at 9. I think night one went off at like 9:15 my time, and then on the East
That'd be
Coast.
7:50. Yeah, it was still so sun goes down like 8ish. So yeah, it was definitely still light here when SummerSlam ended. I liked it personally. Here in Colorado, it's always 2 hours. So like Raw's at 8, it's 6 here. I like that. Like the one time I was in the East Coast for WrestleMania 40, and so like obviously I was like there for SmackDown and stuff. I hated that it ended at the time at like 11. I was like, or whatever it was. I was like, or I think it was 10. I think it was still 2 hours. But I was like, fuck, this sucks. Like it's too late. Like I love that I have like time to unwind after wrestling.
Yeah,
So I love these earlier shows.
for me being in North Carolina, I'm used to it getting dark at like, and so once we hit the fall season, it's like 7 o'clock, completely dark. So watching a pay per view, no matter what a company it is, being daytime, just it to me it throws everything off.
I love it. So that's great. But let us know what you guys thought of SummerSlam. We were gonna review Dynamite, but I actually have to go do something. Unfortunately, I got a text from family. I need to go stop and do something real quick. So no full on Dynamite review, but I will say that Bro Dito Young Bucks match was fucking incredible. One of the best AEW Dynamite tag team matches ever.
Yes. I was not expecting Bodie to win this at
I
all.
wasn't either. I thought they were gonna go do FTR Bucks in the finals.
Like if we're looking at the whole card overall, I mean the Forbidden Door TBS great, but that tag team match was the shock of the night.
Yeah, that was the whole match, and I love Brodito's finish where I don't even know what they call it, but like him like running at a fucking Brody who's just on his back and he just pushes him with his legs and he does a full front flip into like a splash. It's fucking incredible.
It
And this
is
and like the speed he does it at is insane.
it's perfect. I mean, it matches their style because Bodie's the powerhouse, so he's able to do it and get him high enough where Bandito can do the flip fast enough. It oddly works perfectly.
It's insane. It scares me sometimes that he's gonna over rotate and like land on his face.
And see,
So the
we
fact that he's hit it clean twice is like every time I'm like, oh my god! Like I wait for something bad to happen and then nothing happens. I'm like, oh, he did it.
yeah, and we called that out last week, and I don't know if you noticed, but um, Bandito actually pulled Bodie by his legs back a little bit because he was too close.
I remember I laughed because Brody physically, you could see him scooch up too
Yeah,
after that. Like he still scooch up more, which was
yeah,
it ended up working out perfectly. Like the fact that they did that on live TV, realizing oh I need to be a bit more up, and then they still got it. It's crazy.
yeah. It does. It works out greatly for that. And so, them versus FTR. Real quick, who you got?
I'm gonna go with FTR. I think this is leading to FTR versus Edge and Christian.
Yeah, did you see the Buddy Matthews update today?
Yeah, he had surgery. I think either again or he just got surgery again, like on his ankle.
Yep, on that the ankle he hurt at Grand Slam wasn't against Okada.
Yeah, and it wasn't even during the match. It was his intro. He jumped off the top rope down onto the apron and hurt his fucking ankle.
Yep. So that's why they're pushing Bodito so hard. That's why I kind of, I guess, got the trio of madness right now.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what they're called. I forgot what they're called. But yeah, that's gonna be I'm interested in everything going into Forbidden Door. They chose the wrong time to do Forbidden Door. Stardom's having their basically their version of the G1, and then of course the G1's happening. So it's like it's not even Forbidden Door really at the moment. For the most part, the Mercedes matches, but
Yeah, I don't like that it's not a Forbidden Door traditional pay per view currently, but I think they can still give us some surprises. I just don't know where they're gonna fill it in yet.
let's do another Casino Gauntlet. Fuck it.
I mean, they could,
Those
but
matches are fucking fun. I love those matches.
they are. It's like it's mini Royal Rumbles,
Yeah,
but
and
but
like they
without over the
twist it just
top.
into a
Yeah,
normal match. Yeah,
yeah.
it's super fun. But we're gonna go ahead and wind it down here and call it. We've actually went an hour and a half on the dot, so I think that's a good time to call it there. So thank you everyone for watching. Kraken, where can everyone watch you at outside of the podcast?
So of course on TikTok or Facebook, on Twitch as well, and of course on my channel here on YouTube, The Kraken Wrestling. And check that out. You're more than welcome.
And same for me. I'm on everything: YouTube, Twitch. If you guys didn't realize, you probably noticed if you're watching this live, I've rebranded myself. We took away Heel Josh. I'm Face, is what people are saying now. Just switched it up. I wanted a more neutral name. I still am gonna basically have the Hill Josh accounts everywhere. I just not really using it anymore. But yeah, follow me everywhere. Just look up Josh Vibes up everywhere. That's where you'll find me. And yeah, I'll do reactions everywhere. So if you guys like this podcast, make sure you guys leave a comment, let us know what you thought of SummerSlam as well as Dynamite or whatever you want to talk about from this last week since the last time we did one. And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye. Boom. Hell yeah.